Hello everyone and welcome in a little bit early to the Round Table 2 Qualifier Tournament. We're here for our last Winners Bracket matchup of the weekend, followed by our last Losers Bracket matchup of the weekend. We're going to be starting off with Bartek versus lolol234. My name is Dio. I'm going to be joined for this matchup by Miles. Welcome in, Miles.
Hey Dio, glad to be here. Definitely really excited for this match. Obviously, the last matchup in the losers bracket, we've got lolol234, who I think we're going to be commentating as Karumi for this matchup. And
generally.
Also, yeah, pretty much. He's gone by too many usernames over the past few years, though, but I'm pretty sure that's the one most people know him as.
And, of course, right after this matchup, we are also going to get into our last losers bracket matchup of the weekend. Shiba will be joining me later on for Taquito versus Intercamping. And for now, we can go ahead and take a look at our two players here. First off is Bartek, qualifying in as the 14th seed and beating out the 3rd seed in Amamiya Kokoro in order to preserve the winner's bracket status for quarterfinals. Veteran tournament player, king of the hill at COE, of course, volunteer for OWC 2021 map pooling, and is owed a Fumo by Fooders since 2021 and counting. Please send him his Fumo and stop ghosting him for 3 months in a row, Fooders.
Yeah, Bartek, obviously, very long-time tournament player, just outlasting Amamiya Kokoro in what I believe was a tiebreaker matchup last weekend. Now is going to be faced with Karumi. I think he's running the gauntlet of the two biggest surprises of the qualifiers so far. Amamiya Kokoro obviously qualifying at 3rd and Karumi at 5th or 6th. And people didn't really expect him to be there, so Bartek is going to be tasked with ruining both of their unexpected Cinderella stories here. But then now on the other side, we have the underdog, I believe. Even though not a seed underdog, but I think in terms of expectations underdog, lolol234. Guy that misses on 2-star jumps. Saw that in the qualifier for the qualifier tournament. He missed like the last note of the Hard Rock 2. And I think lost out on the top score of that map because of it. He's used to be known as a 4-digit player. Won the 4-digit World Cup last year in what was such a dominating fashion. He FC'd so many maps in that grand finals, just dispatching of Singapore in there. And he is the son of Crystal, brother of lolol233 and 235. And now it looks like we're going to be getting into the rolls here.
Yeah, they've been rolling 1,000 for a bit, which is why we actually started a minute early to try and get in there and let them stop rolling 1,000. Obviously, still on the quarterfinals map pool for these two players, looking at probably some speed bans or low AR reading bans for lolol, and I'm assuming some hard rock bans from Bartek.
Yeah, I think those make sense. Obviously, Bartek, his two greatest skills are his hidden and his speed. Definitely something that lolol is going to be looking into banning. And then on the other side, Karumi, very known hard rock player, very good at comboing alt and tech picks as well. Maybe Bartek's going to be looking into banning those. Going to be choosing first ban and striking out that Hard Rock 2 as expected. He does not like precision, and Karumi is very good at precision. Very expected ban, I think, from Bartek.
Yeah, especially this Hard Rock 2 is close to CS 8 and relatively old style aim, something Karumi is very, very good at. So that sort of hard rock ban, I think, works very well. Karumi going to be banning Hidden 4 and Double Time 4. Hidden 4 is a speed map, a little bit more finger control focused, and Double Time 4 is AR 10. I think it's 10.3 this weekend. Honestly, I'm not sure. We've been working on semifinals and finals so much, I kind of forgot what's in quarters. But regardless, high AR tech alt reading finger control.
Yeah, I think those bans make sense for Karumi, but I would have expected him to more think of banning out the DTs 2 and 3. But nevertheless, I think those are both picks that Bartek would consider. And responding to that, Bartek is going to ban out another Hard Rock, striking out Hard Rock 1, the aim map. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think Bartek's bans were definitely exactly what we expected, banning out 2 Hard Rocks against Karumi.
Yeah, Bartek's not an aim player. He's not going to want to play Hard Rock 1 or Hard Rock 2. Like, his DT aim is good, and I expect him to do really well on Children of Hell. But, like, I'm not expecting him to be picking into stuff like the Nomad 1, Hidden 1, DT 1, especially not Hard Rock 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Karumi is going to be going for Hard Rock 4 with his first pick, Hesperos. This map originated from OWC 2020, I believe. It was a hidden pick. It's been used a bunch of times since then, known for its cut streams and difficult slider patterns. Now it's going to be Hard Rock 4 here.
And I think we should be just about ready to get into everything. So I'm very excited to see how this one goes. 3D Yoshi Spin, as the diff name calls it. Pretty standard Silica tech, honestly. There's not a lot of crazy stuff going on in this map. You really got your sort of basic slider aim, flow aim, cut streams, excel decel streams. It's a tech map through and through in every possible way, and it has hard rock on.
Yep, very consistent, and it looks like you're already seeing some troubles from both of these players. Obviously, I think some of us got the taste from Malashevsky in our mouths that this map isn't as hard as it actually is. No, this map is really hard. Both these players are down at 93 and 94 out of the beginning. Now, into some cut streams. Looks like both players have reestablished their combos and their accuracies a little bit. But there's still lots of map to go. Just gonna be waiting for that first break. See who will trip up on their aim first. They both get through that first difficult section. Karumi down at 92. His accuracy has continued to falter, but Bartek has reestablished it all the way back up to 96. That is going to be huge for his score lead.
Yeah, really waiting on, honestly, Karumi to bring the AK up and for Bartek to miss. If things stay as they are, we're probably going to see Bartek winning this pick, although the second half of this map picks right back up and gets very, very difficult once again. So you're expecting these players to miss in the second half. The question is the timing of those misses. When do they come through? Who's able to hold longer and who's able to bring the score lead up? It's going to be Bartek missing on the build-up here. Karumi hitting the build-up section. We're into the difficult last half now, and the longer Karumi holds, the bigger the score lead is going to get. Finally, the score just about ready to swap over. There it goes. Over to Karumi's side. The first pick finally starting to work out, but there's another miss to come through for Karumi. Bartek is going to trade it. So it is traded misses, but once again, Karumi finding a miss. The accuracy, again, 2% in Bartek's favor. Is the AK enough to bring the score back over to Bartek's side? Will there be more misses from Bartek, or will Karumi continue to drop these misses and long with the accuracy and leave the score lead to Bartek?
It looks like he does, and you know, Karumi is known as a combo gamer. His accuracy is typically going to be inferior. But Bartek, if he continues to break, Karumi is going to be able to keep control even with the AK deficit. And we are into the ending section. There's not much that's difficult left in the map. Karumi absolutely needs to hold. Bartek's accuracy is slowly clawing back at this lead. It is just like 8K difference in the scores right now. Going into the ending, there's not much map left. If Karumi holds, I think he might just hold on to it, though.
Oh, it's as close as it gets going into the ending here. Bartek finally drops another miss, and that's going to seal it up for sure. I think even if the miss didn't come through from Bartek, Karumi would have held on to it by a hair's width, but manages to pull out the win on the first pick. Incredibly close. Apparently wrong offset for Karumi, reading chat there. As we get hopefully the ending here. Hopefully we get to see the ending screens there. Oh, well, we only get one of them.
Oh. That was so close. I think a little bit closer than a lot of us expected for a first pick. Karumi seemed so advantageous on a hard rock tech map against Bartek, but Bartek keeping it really close, almost squeezing out the victory on that, but Karumi nevertheless taking the win. But now the pick goes back to Bartek. And looks like teasing a Nomad 5. Oh my god, we're gonna get Nomad 5. Lovely Ice Cream Princess Sweetie. This is one hell of a map.
Yeah, this map's hard. It's AR9, perfect overlap, stack reading. Basically, we were considering a bunch of different picks for Nomad 5 that were all low approach rate, and we weren't satisfied with any of them at all. I think it was Lucrece suggested that we just put in this map and call it a day, and none of us had anything better that we wanted to put anyway. So despite this map, I think, being very, very difficult, we put it here. It's gonna be the Nomad reading pick. Karumi saying he is fire trucked, and Bartek screaming out for 200K. Praying to the gods for 200k. We'll see how a matchup between legends goes on this map.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with this map at home, this is Daramak Overlap Hell. If you think you've seen difficult overlaps, you haven't seen this map yet. It is just so difficult, and we've seen it in map pools a lot throughout the years. I think last time I saw it was United States Cup 2021, where Digital Hypno managed to FC it, which was kind of one of the
SS,
most
no less.
scores. No, I don't think he SS'd it.
Was it not? I could have sworn it was.
Not SS. If he SS'd it, it would have been even more crazy, but I'm pretty sure that's what made him make OWC that year, just because of how insane that score was. I mean, he's such a good player, he could have made it anyway, but let's focus on this match. Looks like Bartek and Karumi now finding early breaks. Obviously, looking at Bartek to hold on to this accuracy lead, he's up at 99.5 in the beginning. I think this is definitely the easiest part of the combo in the map, and you're really going to want to hold your combo through this beginning.
The fact that Kurumi's already missed, definitely not boding well for the rest of this, where it really starts to get into some super tricky patterning. You're already seeing, though, just how this map handles the overlaps, putting circles on top of sliders and vice versa, just overlapping pretty much every single object in the map in one way or another. And you're never safe to read what you think is one object as another. I feel like if you can properly read this on a first pass, you're just one of the best reading players in the game. Like, there's so many ridiculous overlap sequences in this map, alongside, pauses for rhythm emphasis in the middle of these overlap stack patterns, too. Like, the ability to read this from both of these players is actually outstanding. 99% on Bartek, 98.6 on Karumi, only 100 combo down from an FC.
Yeah, I think a lot of players are going to want to hold on to this beginning combo because the combo is going to be more difficult to acquire throughout the map. So I think it is paramount for either player that they hold on here. But Bartek's accuracy lead is just going to continue to bolster his score lead as we get into the second half of the map. And Karumi finally drops, misreading that linear stack pattern. Oh, but Bartek trades it back! Okay, so we're back at equal, except for Bartek's 1% ac lead. Oh,
Bartek is faltering, though. He misreads on the linear back and forth there in the Ki time. And Karumi now has a bit of a combo lead. I don't know if it's enough with the accuracy advantage that Bartek has, but Bartek has to be careful here. You find another set of misses, and Karumi suddenly is going to be in sole possession of that score lead, too. Oh. And
Bartek continues to miss. The accuracy is now in favor of Karumi, and when he has combo and ac lead, the score is going to shift right back in his favor, but he drops. Combo lead now gone. Ac lead now minuscule, but Bartek continues to break. It looks like both of these players have lost their footing on this pick.
It's pretty neck and neck, though. I mean, 20k score lead is pretty much nothing. You see massive ac drops, or you see one big combo, and suddenly the score lead is one way or the other in a significant way. So it's pretty much all coming down to this last quarter. If we see massive misses for one player or the other, it could swing one way or the other. As it is, though, Bartek with the score lead. This score lead has shrunk down to 10k or less than 10k, though, Miles. Karumi is pulling off the comeback. What was a 1% ac lead for Bartek is now a more than 1% ac lead for Karumi. The shoe is on the other foot pretty much entirely now. And the combo lead is with Karumi as well. This is a 5k score lead. It continues to shrink in favor of the underdog for expectations at the start of this tournament.
Bartek absolutely cannot afford to drop anymore. Karumi is knocking at the door right now, and Bartek drops, and the score goes back over to Karumi. He has a lead by just around 5,000 score, but with the combo and the accuracy, he's going to hold it. Oh, but he drops more, and the score goes back to Bartek. It is literally teetering on a knife's edge right now. Bartek continues to drop. Karumi takes a score lead back, but this is so close. What the hell is going on?
How close is this match, Miles? We got another 5k score lead here at the end for Karumi, and it is going to be just under 8,000 score in Karumi's favor by the end of the map. A 2-0 start to the match, and Bartek unable to convert on the first pick. Karumi with the upset point to start things off. Two extremely close maps, though. I mean, what was that? 20k or so on the Hard Rock 3, and now less than 10,000 on the No Mod 5 from Bartek. incredibly close start to the match, and Kurumi honestly delivering on the underdog narrative, being able to just barely take both of these points off of Bartek, who is one of the longest standing high caliber open rank tournament players.
I think we're going to have to start calling him Kurumi the Clutch after that one, because that was insanely close. And he managed to take an ACK lead. I feel like we kind of, as you said, the shoe was on the other foot there.
The foot's on the other shoe, guys.
Yeah, the foot is on the other shoe. Bartek had the combo advantage in terms of maximum combos, but Kurumi with the ACK lead and some smaller combos that compounded up. He was able to take that pick. Now going to be going for the No Mod 4, his bread and butter tech map. Going to be, I think, really comfortable on it, but Bartek, no slouch at tech himself. Going to be able to put up another really good fight on this pick, and maybe we might just continue to see some really close points. Really hope to see that, at least. It's really intense.
And apparently Kurumi said that was a sight read in chat.
No way.
On the No Mod 5.
You're lying.
He says that's a sight read. He says that's what he says. That's what he says. Up to viewer interpretation whether it's true or not. I'm hoping this one's not a sight read though, because this map's pretty difficult to read too. Tons of overlapping cut stream stuff going on in this map, along with accel decel patterns, wiggles, slider streams, finger control all over the place in this map, and nasty slider aim, way harder than in the Osilica map in Hard Rock.
Yeah, just test out your quintessential tech skill sets, all bundled into this one nice map here. Looks like into the first quarter of the map, we saw Kurumi with an early break, but with the accuracy lead. So the score is remaining close despite the combo deficit for Kurumi. It's all going to be on who drops combo next, I think. Because into the second third of the map, both of the players have very big combos, so the first one to drop it will be surrendering a ton of score to the opponent. But no players are faltering here.
The ACK lead for Kurumi doing so much work, though. We actually did see an early miss for Kurumi. He's down about 30-40 combo to Bartek, but 99% accuracy almost is bringing the score lead to his side and keeping things on that razor's edge once again. 2,289 points in favor of lolol234 at the break.
My heart cannot handle this, Dio. We cannot keep having these close picks. Can someone break already? Dude, I've been commentating Malashevsky these last 2 weeks. The points have been like so heavily in his favor. I can't take this many close points right now.
Oh, Lord. Well, we might see a couple breaks here in the back half. This part of the map, very, very difficult. You're not going to get... Oh, there's the slider break on the slider stream for Lolo. Bartek misses right afterwards, though. It's again the ACK lead for Kurumi. The ACK has dropped down to about 98% flat, but that's still about a 0.5% accuracy lead, and you do have a little bit of combo in Kurumi's favor. It's all going to come down to the ending, though. As long as Bartek holds, he's pretty much guaranteed the pick. This is a 40k score lead. So unless we see a major miss from Bartek, this is going to be Bartek's first point, and there it is. Clutches it out at the end, about a 50k score lead. All said and done, 720k on the pick for Bartek. Only slider breaks there near the end of the map, and he manages to put one on the board, 1-2 now, with the next pick as well. Breakpoint traded right back.
Yeah, hum diddly dee, Dio. These points are being really close still. Bartek only winning that by about 50,000 score. Still a very close pick, but Bartek taking the breakpoint back. Kurumi unable to compound another point, or to compound his break point. And now Bartek, I think, is going to be going into the DT pool now at this point. He's got a DT 2 and 3 left that I think he might be advantaged on against Kurumi. We're going to have to wait and see. Went for the No Mod 5 first. Might want to go for the Hidden 2 next.
And a DT1 also, by the way. Children of Hell is something Bartek is very familiar with. He's played that map in tournament I don't know how many times. Can't count him out on that one. DT3, though, you know, Kurumi, you can kind of mash this, but really, it's honestly not going to be super... It's honestly not going to be super easy to get good ACK on this map. By the way,
Go
for
to
some
the-
reason, Laser is not recognizing this map. I think it has to do with how old the map is. Laser Tournament Client does have a hard time recognizing very, very old maps with, for example, 5-digit beat map codes like you see here, 69666. That's an extremely ominous beat map code. I'm going to move away from that now. And yeah, despite the fact that this does give you the info for Fallout, that is the No Mod 4, this map is not, in fact, AR 10.7. This one is AR 9.67, going to be 264 BPM, and about 7.4 stars after DT. You can see why with all these consecutive bursts all right in a row.
Yeah, the finger control requirement on this is very high. Also, a little piece of trivia for the viewers. I believe this is mapped by LRJ, who is now known as a Ikoro.
Yep.
So this is an Ikoro map. Was ranked with a 10-digit beat map code, which is very, very old. And looks like the accuracies are really low on this. Karumi down at 86, Bartek up at 93. Gonna be holding an accuracy and combo lead, which has already given him about 100k score of lead. And this map is very short. We're already halfway done. This lead is gonna be very big for this map so far. And Bartek is still holding on. I think as long as he does, he will win the pick. But with his accuracy and combo score that he already has...
All right, GG.
Yeah, GG. It's over. Finally, a decisive pick in this match. Bartek going to be taking this one without any hitches. Finally breaking near the end, but already with his 500k score. He has over double the score that Karumi has, which is going to be way more than enough to win the point.
Yeah, I think this should very easily signal Bartek towards the DT2 pick after this. I feel like, or maybe just save it for last. If you really need the extra push over the edge, save that DT2. Karumi's not picking it, that's for sure. So
It says I should have banned this. Also,
yeah,
another piece of trivia: the DT2 in this pool was in the grand finals pool of 4WC that I said that Karumi's team won.
Oh yeah, that's true. We did pull that there.
He might be comfortable on that map. I might have to go back to the MP link because I know it was played in grand finals and bracket reset. But I think it's something that might be a little more risky for Bartek compared to that DT3. And it looks like Karumi is going to go straight for the Hard Rock 3. This is another really crazy map. I think almost on par with the No Mod 5 in terms of craziness. It is just the finger control and aim control required for this Hard Rock 3 is just something that you don't really see anywhere else in the pool.
Yeah, this is kind of our, a little bit of our like No Mod 6 replacement. Before you had polyrhythm maps in map pools, this type of stuff was very, very common to see in Hard Rock. These sorts of alt maps with lots of 1/6 in them and 1/3. So before the polyrhythm era of dominance in 2021 and 2022, this was the kind of stuff that you saw a lot of times for heavily testing finger control in map pools back in 2019, 2020. So kind of a return to tradition with stuff like this in these map pools. We're going to see more like it as well to come. And yeah, here we go into it. You can already see tons and tons of 1/6 patterning in this map. There's also a couple 1/8 triples in this map as well, if I'm not mistaken. Tons of aim control mixed into it as well. This is essentially a typical alt map with all of the finger control requirements of, rhythm hell maps.
And another thing I love about putting this type of map in Hard Rock is the OD10. It really rewards players who actually have the finger control for these types of maps. You can't really mash through, or else you get tons of hundreds. And with Karumi being the combo gamer, loves to mash through those types of patterns. He's all the way down at 90% already, giving Bartek a 7% accuracy lead, which is really going to be huge for the early going of this map. But the combo lead in favor of Karumi, he's going to be able to claw back at that score fairly quickly, especially with another break from Bartek. With his combo now up at 400, he's going to be taking the score lead very, very shortly, especially if his accuracy continues to improve, or Bartek's accuracy continues to falter. But he does break on the back and forth. Bartek is going to hold on to the lead for now.
Apologies for the tech difficulties there. A couple of dropped frames and some Windows PC noises. Should be all good now. But yeah, Bartek actually pulling ahead once again on one of Karumi's picks. The combo gamer, accuracy on this type of map really is impactful, because if you are mashing through something like this, like you said, Miles, it's going to destroy your accuracy. You're going to have a very, very hard time really pulling together a solid score.
Yeah, and Bartek's accuracy is actually quite stellar. Up at 97 on this type of map is something I wouldn't really expect from him. But I'm really going to be worried for Bartek at this one section that lies at about the 2/3 mark that has a few cut streams and some very difficult streams. I think that's where I guess I would expect to see a player like him miss. But Bartek breaking right before the second Ki is going to give Kurumi a massive combo lead. He's up at almost 500 combo. He's going to start to reel in the score lead now despite the huge accuracy deficit. 5% does a lot for your score.
Yeah, it'll all depend on how long Kurumi's able to hold on to this combo lead, though. Like you said, the accuracy is just really, really rough for Kurumi. So it is all dependent on the combo lead for lolol234 to pull this pick out and find the win on it. If he does not hold on to the combo lead on this map, it's going to go to Bartek in very dominant fashion. You can see, even with this massive combo lead for so long, the score is actually sticking with Bartek still. Because of the difference in accuracy, the 90% now act for lolol is doing so much to keep it on Bartek's side. But unfortunately, a break comes through for Bartek. Kurumi is going to match it, though, after a second set of breaks come through for Bartek during this finger control hell part of the map. Another break for lolol on the slider art there at the end, and you see 6% accuracy lead for Bartek with a 71 combo lead as well going into the last quarter of the map. If all else stays the same, this is going to be Bartek's win on this map. Kurumi needs more act and needs a combo break from Bartek in order to pull this pick out. This is not what you want to be seeing on your own pick, especially after having just dropped a breakpoint in the last pick cycle. Bartek really pulling it out here and kind of showing, you know, the breadth of experience that comes with being a tournament veteran like this in these high pressure situations and being able to play pretty much everything despite the Pfizer shakes. I mean, look at this man go. How is he hitting this on Hard Rock with these kinds of shakes, man? Oh my God.
Calm down, Bartek. This is so close and into the last pattern. Oh my God. 6K score? What is going on, Dio?
Every map is so close.
Combined 80K score difference between maybe 3 picks so far in this match, and it looks like Bartek is coming out swinging now after the slow part. 3 straight points, and now 3-2, and the pick is going to go back to Bartek. This is starting to get a little bit dangerous for lolol234. But wow, look at that combo differential. lolol234 up at 922 combo compared to Bartek's 550. And that is where the accuracy starts to matter so much, down almost 5% accuracy. That is going to be what determined this pick in the end. Kurumi blaming his offset. But that's something you do when you're practicing the pool.
Yeah, of course.
Not to throw any shade, but you know.
It is something you do when you're supposed to practice the pool, you know, is check your offset. So, I don't know. If you got the wrong offset, well, it may just be time for a revisit to the old pool practice. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see how Bartek wants to go about things now. You still have 3 hidden picks left open. You still have DT1, DT2. It's going to be the DT2 for Bartek. I don't know if you had time to look at the 4-digit World Cup MP links, but I'm going to pull those up if you haven't.
I haven't, so you can go on right ahead. And keep in mind, in 4WC, it was also a diff with lower AR. I think it was AR 8.3 on that difficulty, and this one is AR 8.5, which is going to be bringing the total AR up to AR 10 with DT, which I think is a little more comfortable for Kurumi, honestly. AR 10 is going to be the comfort AR for any Hard Rock player.
Yeah, he was dropping 450k on this, by the way, in Grand Finals versus Singapore in bracket reset at the very least. Let me see about the regular match if they played it or not. I do see 500k in the first round of Grand Finals, 450k in bracket reset, and Canada actually banned it against them. So about an average 500k here for Kurumi. We'll see if Bartek's able to match that. I feel like after what we saw in the DC3, this should be very doable for Bartek to match and exceed 500k. Got almost 600k on Sky High.
Yeah, but regardless, Kurumi's gotten a lot better since 4-digit World Cup. Obviously now, with this tournament, he's propelled himself into the upper echelon of tournament players in the entire world. So if he's improved that speed at all since then, putting this map on a more comfortable AR for him, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled out a score even better than what he did back before WC. But as you said, with how dominant that DT3 was, it's going to look like a pick that's favored to Bartek from the outlook.
Well, we'll see whether Kurumi is able to overcome the speed debuff here. That's really all this map is about. A little bit of finger control in this map, a lot of consecutive bursts, and relatively longer streams in this map as well. A lot of 16+ note streams. At this sort of BPM at 235, this is really where it starts to get into speed player territory for most open rank tournament players. Looking really good at the start, though, for Kurumi. I mean, no real fumbles here at the start, given that this is a map that he's played before, compared to a lot of the other picks where he's broken at the start. It doesn't seem like there's that adjustment issue. But there comes the break now. Bartek with the first break. Kurumi with one to follow it up about 100 combo later. And that is going to favor Bartek. You want to miss later into a map if you're both going to miss at the start. Or you want to miss earlier into a map if you're both going to miss, because you get that combo lead for more of the map now. And you can see what it's doing to the score lead. Now that the map is fully into swing, Bartek 98%, Kurumi 95% accuracy along with that combo lead.
Yeah, but now that the combos have started to get high, any break from either player I think will determine the outcome of this pick. Now that we are at the dangerous halfway point of any map, or we are at the dangerous halfway point of this map, if anyone finds a drop, it's going to send the score flying in the other's direction, especially since the ACK lead isn't too heavily in favor of Bartek this time. It's only a couple of percent. Kurumi's going to be praying for a break from Bartek on this if he wants to take that break point back. But as it stands, Bartek is holding a dominant advantage. A couple of ACK percents and a lead, and there's the break from Kurumi.
I think that's just GG.
Yeah,
Bartek still
GG.
holding on and just demolishing this map, frankly. Like, oh, well, never mind. No longer demolishing, but I mean, still a pretty good score. Kurumi's not going to beat 600k plus on this map. Just is not speedy enough, I feel like, to really push above the 600k mark on something like this. And they're both going to see the scores. They're going to see that 200k. I mean, this is really just where Bartek excels, is in the speed and in the low AR reading. So definitely something I think he's really happy about, to be picking this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Now converting on his 4th straight point. Score now going to 4-2. Pick going back in favor of Kurumi. I think it's do or die territory for Kurumi. Because then if he loses this next pick, he's going to be going down match point into Bartek's pick, which is going to be really dangerous with there still being some hidden maps left in the pool.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to let Bartek pick hidden 2 into you at match point, essentially. You really need to win this pick if you are Kurumi. Regardless, you're going to need to win your own next 2 picks and at least one of Bartek's next 2 picks. So you're in a tough spot, but it's still doable. You win your own, you take 1 break point back. You're only down 1 break point if you are Kurumi. I think that's something you need to remind yourself, right? This is not an unassailable advantage. This is like a normal 1 break point lead. It is still winnable, but if you lose this pick, if you give over a 2nd break point, that's when it starts to become really unplayable for Kurumi.
And it looks like he's going to be going for the no mod 1. Picking aim into Bartek is a classic strategy that you can obviously see with his reaction in the chat. dropping the 12-digit long XD, which usually means someone doesn't really want to play a map.
Apparently, Kurumi also doesn't have this map, despite having played it in Kanyo Cup. So, well, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, it's aim. It's 190 BPM, 7.2 star aim consistency. Very standard stuff. I mean, like, this is just the most normal map in the map pool. You show this to any Osu player, and they're like, oh yeah, I've played this, but shorter, like 1,000 times. It's Sotark's maps. Yeah, I know what this looks like.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing in this map that you will misread because you're sight reading the map. It is just normal streams and normal aim. And down at 190 BPM, much lower than I think any of the last maps these guys have played. It might be a little bit jarring to go into this map after the last few maps they've played, but looks like the comfort level is going to be generally there for both of them. Kurumi up at 99 out of the beginning. Bartek dropping some axe, but he's going to be reestablishing it in no time with this slower section, which I think is the calm before the storm being the key eyes, which is where we're going to be expecting either of these players to break, because that's where the jumps get really spaced as well as the streams. And here we go into the first Ki. Bartek going to be finding an early break. As you said last map, it's better that he breaks earlier than later, but as Kurumi continues to hold on to his combo, he's going to be able to take a monstrous lead if he can hold this through the Ki into the next bridge section. But Bartek continues to break, struggling, dropping quite a few breaks on that stream. Going to be good for Kurumi, especially as he gets through it.
Has Bartek been DT farming recently? Because he's really doing the flop right now, honestly. It's not looking good on this pick. Kurumi, however, 99% full combo. Very solid stuff. There's not much more to say on this map, right? There's no crazy flashy plays going on or anything. He's just consistently comboing through the first half.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you get away with that do the flop joke. Hey, man. By the way.
Hey, man.
Okay. Yeah. Bartek breaking on thin air. Okay, yeah, he's definitely been DT farming recently. No one who doesn't DT farm just breaks on a reverse slider like that. But here we go into the second Ki. I think if Bartek has any chance of getting back into this pick, it will require Kurumi to break right now. We are at that dangerous midpoint of the map where your score can get capped. But Bartek is continuing to break, and his accuracy is suffering for it.
All right, but you gotta admit he's kind of flopping right now. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, I was bullying people for getting 400k on the qualifiers Nomad 1. Keep that to yo hand in hand.
Oh yeah, no, that was awful too. I don't know how people. What happened? What happened on that map? I don't understand.
I have no idea, but if Bartek continues to like struggle very hard on this and gets like 270k, I might have to like talk to him about it later. I might have to Snapchat him about it right now.
Oh my god.
It looks like Kurumi is getting his foothold back on this pick. Looks like he's going to have a decisive pick, which I think he needs in order to get back in this match. He is just dominating on this.
Well, this is a confidence boost, if nothing else. You go into the next couple of picks, like Hidden 1 or DT 1, and you can be pretty comfortable if you are Kurumi. The thing is, though, like, I don't know if I want to pick Our Way or Children of Hell into Bartek, right? Like, I don't know if I actually want to pick those maps into Bartek. So I don't know exactly if Kurumi just goes for them off of this pick, or if he tries to go for something else. Because Bartek is still relatively good at awkward, higher BPM stuff, like Our Way on Hidden. Aw, sad misses for Kurumi near the end here. 900k, though, very, very solid score.
Yeah, gonna be enough to win this pick and then some. He has over almost triple the score of Bartek on this map. But I don't think Bartek is going to be too sad about that. It's Nomad 1. He clearly is not a big fan of Nomad 1, putting a little frowny face there, but it's going to be Kurumi getting back in the match. Score now 3-4 going into Bartek's pick, and as you said earlier, I don't know if the other AIM maps are really going to be as accessible for Kurumi. I think Children of Hell is going to be a really scary map for both of these players, both as very consistent, faster AIM players. But I don't know about Our Way. That map might just be a toss-up if either of them pick that one either. But Bartek is going to go straight for the HD2 as expected. Going to be getting a pick that appears to be very much in favor of Bartek, this low AR reading pick.
This one's a full grid snap map. A lot of really simple tapping rhythms in this. It kind of lulls you into like a false sense of security, though. Like if you are sight reading this, it will do the same rhythm for a bit and then go off rhythm on red ticks for a little bit, or like on I think it's purple ticks because it is 1/3. So it'll go like off rhythm on purple ticks, for example, and it just kind of throws you off because you get into a certain groove when you are tapping to a map like this, and I feel like for sight reading in particular, and not naming any names, for sight reading in particular, it might cause a couple of problems for any players wanting to do that.
Yeah, sight reading the area hidden, at least at this level, it becomes less and less viable the higher star rating goes, because as you mentioned, as the rhythm starts to get a little bit more difficult, it becomes less sight readable. Like down in the early stages when the maps are just like, a little bit of aim on consistent timing, you can kind of get away with it. But at this level, it's just not really viable. And if either of these players are sight reading, I think we're going to be able to see really soon with how their scores are going to be and their accuracies as well.
All right, let's see how both of these players do on this one. Again, Bartek's second to last pick, potentially. We're going to have to see whether Bartek gets access to that last pick or not. Looking for match point here. Kurumi already finding a miss, actually. Just missing on one of the very first aim patterns in this map. Maybe not expecting grid snap, I don't know. Or 1/3.
Yeah, it looks like Bartek is a little bit more comfortable out of the beginning of this. Accuracy up in the 99s, while Kurumi is down in the 95s. But it looks like both of them are able to hold on to combo, which is going to be the most important factor here. Oh, and Kurumi's going to find a break on that aim pattern. Bartek is now going to be able to start to extend his lead, going into the second third of the map. He looks so comfortable on this, by the way.
He really does. I mean, look, it's really not that hard of a map. It's a low 6-star aim map with AR8. Bartek has the mechanics to play anything like this and can read it completely fine, just no issue whatsoever. So if you take away the reading difficulty, this is just a basic low 6-star map. That's really all it is to Bartek, and if you're not at the same level of low AR reading for stuff like this, you're really going to struggle compared to him. Yeah,
absolutely, and his score is kind of like insane on this so far, actually. Up at 99.5, still holding, I think this is a full combo. Did he break in the beginning?
He did not. That was Kurumi.
Okay, so looks like Bartek is on track for an FC on this. And not to downplay Kurumi, his score on this is very good as well. He's up above 500k with a very strong combo. But when Bartek is playing this well on this map, you can't count him out. And there he goes, finally breaking. That is so unlucky. But there's not enough time for Kurumi to convert.
Yeah, not enough time for a comeback here. We'll get maybe 750k on this, but not going to break 800 at all. And yeah, still 120,000-ish score ahead, 116,000 score ahead for Bartek on his pick with the hidden 2. So still up the 1 break point. Despite the dominating win on Nomad 1 for Kurumi, not enough to change the outcome on this hidden 2, a relatively guaranteed pick for Bartek. And now we're getting the last 2 picks for each of these players. Kurumi has to win both of them to force the tiebreaker, and then win tiebreaker in order to stay in winner's bracket. Bartek, at match point, just needs to win 1 more map out of the next 3 to advance into the semifinals and guarantee a top 6 finish. Which is actually very important. One thing that we haven't talked about so much in this tournament is that last chance bracket, but I think this is a good time to bring it up. The top 6 in this tournament are guaranteed a second shot at second place. So even if you exit top 6, you still get to play in the last chance bracket, which goes on the week after grand finals and decides the second person going to LA. So if you are in the winners semifinals, you are guaranteed at least a place in the last chance bracket, which is a very big deal. Both of these players fighting for that guarantee right now.
Yeah, now back to the picks. It looks like Kurumi is going to be going for Nomad 3 after seeming to be not so sure about what he would pick. I think this is generally a good pick for Kurumi. It's something that he's very good at in tournaments, the Nomad 3, more aim control styled alt map. And I think it's without also some of the added difficulties that was shown in the HR3, which, as mentioned earlier, he lost that HR3 because of the accuracy difference. But without the accuracy difference, I think Kurumi would have definitely won that. And this type of map is basically the HR3 without all of the patterns that dropped his accuracy on that map.
Exactly.
Which I think explains why this should be a good pick for Kurumi, but it's also something that Bartek is going to be more comfortable on than the HR3, because he's not an HR player, which we've established many times.
Apparently, Bartek using a different MP3 from Mustache. Not exactly sure what changes were made to the MP3. I'm kind of curious now what they changed about the MP3, but
yeah, this map is weird. I know it was in OWC with a different vocalist, and then Flake made a map set that combines both of the vocalists, and then this map is a set that is just Wawaka. So Flake has 3 sets of this exact same song.
Oh my god.
So I don't blame Bartek for having the wrong MP3, because I have like at least 2 sets of this song that are unsubmitted. Now into it. This is deboiling point of the match. If Bartek wins this, he will be sending Kurumi down to the loser's bracket. Kurumi needs to win this in order to stay alive in this matchup and try to continue to fight for the tiebreaker.
Here we go into some of the more difficult patterns in this map. You see a lot of these patterns are really snap aim focused in contrast to kind of the flow aim Mod 3 we've had in previous weeks, and Kurumi just crushing them. All of these really high BPM jumps is basically what they are. These are 300 BPM jumps is what those are. Whenever you see the star jumps or back and forths in the same speed as the streams in this map, those are just 300 BPM jumps is what they are. And Kurumi absolutely crushing them, still holding on to the FC right now, 98% on that play. Bartek with a miss during that first hard section. Hopefully no misses on air for either of these players before we get into the first KI time.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of preemptively cursed Kurumi with that on his card saying misses on 2-star jumps.
Yeah.
But hopefully that doesn't happen to him here. He definitely needs to hold on as long as possible in order to ward off Bartek. But the way it stands right now is heavily in favor of Kurumi with both the accuracy and the combo lead. But with Bartek starting to reestablish his combo, he's going to become dangerous if Kurumi drops. And here we go into the chorus. I don't think this is the most difficult section of the map, as we saw earlier with those 300 BPM jumps. This is a section where you're going to be able to, with relative ease, raise your combos. And a break here would be absolutely catastrophic for both of these players.
Yeah, last KI time is definitely where you're going to see breaks, if anywhere. And this part as well, these breakdown sections after the KI times where you really see some pretty big jump aim. Neither player getting caught off by it, nor by the cut streams afterwards. And both of them still holding on despite the cut doubles and double jumps in this part. Neither of them dropping at all. Almost 99% for Kurumi right now, dropping a couple of hundreds. The cut double stream, both of them hit it as well. It's tense right now, Miles. This is Kurumi's pick, still holding on to the FC. You start to get nervous if you're Kurumi, though, at this point. You see the score lead, you know that you're ahead, and you say, okay, I just have to keep my lead. I just have to combo a little bit more through this last KI time. But that gets in your head at some point, right? You have to hold on to your nerves. It may have been Bartek with the Pfizer shakes all match long, but I'm hoping the nerves for Kurumi don't get that bad during this last part, because you really have to hold on here. Into the hardest section of the map we go.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing separating these players is the hiccups from Bartek at the beginning. But Kurumi's accuracy lead has started to grow a little bit. He's up at about 1.5% above, maybe a little less than that. But Bartek's over 1k combo is going to be very, very possible to bring this lead back if Kurumi does break into the star jumps. This is one of the hardest sections of the map. Kurumi breaks! Okay, I'm not sure.
I think that's enough map, though. Okay, GG. Yeah. There it is.
GG. There we go. Kurumi's going to be converting on his final pick. Score will go back to 4-5, but Bartek is going to be selecting the last map, which is going to give him a massive advantage, I think, in what he picks. He still has a hidden map. He still has that DT1, which he is rank 1 on. So, going to be expecting him to select one of those. But for now, Kurumi stays alive, breathing in the breath of life. 4-5, last pick before tiebreaker.
Yeah, very, very good stuff from Kurumi on that map, managing to get close to 800k there with one miss on the star jump sections. Pretty solid. I guess the Vocaloid version is better at the end of the day.
Definitely.
R.I.P. Walka. Last pick now. Last pick for either player. It is Bartek's pick going into the final map. It's going to be Hidden 3, Ooh. Forbidden Light. This is all about flow aim. If you have good flow aim, if you are a very, very good stream flow aim player, if you can play cut streams, if you can play cut doubles, if you can play Accel Decel, if you can play Juggernaut style space streams on Justice Monster, if you can play all of that with Hidden, you are going to do very well on this map. If you struggle at any little bit of that, you are going to find chain misses somewhere in this pick, because it is all very, very difficult to do in this map, and it really never stops from the moment it starts.
Yeah, Bartek's been having trouble with the shakes in this match. If he shakes on one of those long space streams, it will cause him to chain break on that, just to mention before the map. But I think this is the definition of a toss-up pick. If those space streams are the way you say they are, like, both of these players are definitely able to play this. This is going to be who's got that dog in them, as we mentioned in the Full Circle cast. Yeah. And I mean, Karumi's been the underdog this entire tournament, so.
You see what I'm saying, though? There's the chain. This is starting already for Karumi. The cut doubles in the middle of space Axel D-Cell streams, Miles. This is what I was saying. If you're bad at any of those aspects of space streams with Hidden, you're gonna find the chain misses, and Karumi's just not got it in him today, it doesn't look like. Bartek still holding on to the FC, 98.5.
So it is not over yet. What just happened to Karumi can happen to Bartek on this map. But at this point, it just looks like the comfortability for Bartek might just be able to shine through, as long as he can just like not fall apart too much. Let's find the break.
Map.
Okay, now Karumi, if he can bring his accuracy back, he's going to be able to start breaking down this score lead.
Oh, he almost broke on that slider art, by the way.
I saw that.
Karumi actually almost missed the slider tick in the middle of that slider art. Same there, does expect it that time around. Hits the space stream in the build up there. Oh my god, Miles, is it happening? Are we gonna get another one of these best men? Oh my god, I can't do this.
Dude, I can't.
Karumi popping off in the middle of the map. Bartek breaking on the slider stream. We follow it up with almost breaking on the slider art. Does he have it in him to combo enough of the back half of this map to make up for the atrocious accuracy from the chain misses at the start? The score lead finally going over to Karumi here in just a moment, it looks like. The accuracy is still doing so much work for Bartek, but the combo is there for Karumi. He's 300 combo up. He just needs to hold going into the ending here. No, he's not able to hold. Bartek still holding onto the combo. Does he miss in time for Karumi to bring it back? It doesn't look like he will, as we still see combo going for Bartek. He hits that cut double stream, and I think that's going to seal it up. 60k and climbing now at the end of the map.
Oh, and he does it. What a clutch for Bartek. The accuracy and the comboing of the ending going to be giving Bartek the win. Karumi looked like he was about to take it back for a second, but at the end of the day, it is going to be Bartek. Karumi's chain misses at the beginning are going to be what seals him off of this tiebreaker, and Bartek is going to be making his way into the top 6. What a match, Dio.
What a match, man. Wow, that was so close at the end, actually. I mean, just ridiculously close, honestly, with how hyped this match had been all throughout. 6-4 for Bartek. Continuing the trend of, I think, resurgence that we have seen from him in a lot of previous years, where he really is just starting to pull off the comebacks that we expect from a player with this sort of legacy in the tournament scene, right? This is kind of what you expect to see out of Bartek as a legacy, super solid, high-level tournament player. Somebody with wins in tournaments or high placements in tournaments like Corsace and the Perennial and YSC year over year over year.
Yeah, he's been doing this for half a decade, so I think none of us are going to be really surprised with him making this type of comeback again. He is such a strong player, and he has been for such a long time. And it looks like he's going to be continuing his status, locking his spot in the top 6 of the Roundtable 2's Qualifier Tournament. Meanwhile, Karumi, it was a hard fight, it was a good fight, but he's going to be dropping down to the loser's bracket where he will be facing Chaconi, who just won his match earlier this weekend, and that is crazy. Don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, like, just extremely solid stuff from Bartek for sure. I think, you know, really just looking forward to seeing him play next weekend as well. We do have the winners bracket ready to go here. We'll go ahead and take a look at the bracket for next weekend. In the winners bracket, it is going to be Malashevsky versus MCY4 and Zudinator versus Bartek. So Bartek going up against Canada's best in the winners bracket next weekend. And of course, Karumi in the losers bracket. We have one more matchup to decide there, but Karumi going to be dropping down to face off against, like you said, Chaconi. Of course, in losers bracket next weekend, we do actually have 2 matches per weekend. It's going to be Kurumi versus Chikoni, and then Enri versus the winner of our next match, starting in about 5 minutes, is Takedo versus Intercambing. So stay tuned if you are interested in seeing the conclusion of the quarterfinals. And then after that, Chikoni would have to make it through, or excuse me, Kurumi would have to make it through both Chikoni and the winner of Enri versus either Takedo or Intercambing. On the other side of the bracket, of course, Nineric versus Demonical and Xylus versus Mustache, followed by the winners of both of those matches facing off in the same weekend. Losers bracket participants will have 2 matches next weekend.
Okay, so in the meantime, I'm going to be leaving. I'm going to be switched out for Shiba, who will be commentating the next match with Dio. So after that, I guess. Thank you all for watching this match, and I hope you all stay tuned for the next match. And goodbye.
We'll see you soon.